All right, 3, 2, 9. Hey, welcome to the JaySquared Podcast. I'm Jesoma,
I'm J-Rock.
and we've got an awesome episode for you today. Well, chapter. Yeah, chapter. We've been gone for a while, and well, we actually haven't been gone. We've been busy just with other things, but we've still been active with the podcast, right?
Yeah, we've had lives and special
Yeah,
episodes or chapters,
we've been
not
getting
but
it in.
not really a podcast in a while.
Yeah. So this is chapter 11. So welcome, and I
Welcome
think
back.
yeah, welcome back. By the way, how's your month been? I guess since we haven't had a podcast for a while.
I guess I could share this now, but in December I got knee surgery for an injury that I've had for months, and the doctor finally found out what it was. I'm not going to go into detail because it's none of your business. Um, but yeah, I got knee surgery in December, and the past 2 months, I've been just healing, going to PT, trying to get better, and I am jogging officially. So that's a big step for me.
Woo! Clap, clap,
Yeah,
clap.
clap, clap, clap. So yeah, that's how my month has been going, just focusing on that, getting back to work. So soon I'll be out there running and swole.
Finally,
Yeah.
we
So then you could
we've been waiting for Swole Jess.
yeah. So then you could cross me over whenever you come visit me.
Bruh. Now, but in all seriousness, I'm glad you're doing way better. I see the
Thanks.
growth, see the happiness. I love to see it.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it was a while, but yeah. How about you? How you been?
um, I've been good. I've been good. Just making so many adjustments. I've been doing a lot with work and well, with J Markets. Um,
Sponsorship.
sponsored. But definitely just been doing a lot, trying to manage everything. Heavy load, man. So I've been stressing a little bit. Again, need to go back to therapy.
Oh
Just been
yeah.
slipping my mind every single time. It's been slipping my mind, but I need to prioritize it. Take
Better
accountability.
help.
Make it a
Better help.
priority. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Better help.
Better
Talk
help.
space. Talk space. But we do have an interesting show. We'd have an interesting show. Some things are a little bit switched up. We have a brand new segment called "Am I the Asshole?" So we have had people sending in stories of what they've done, and we're gonna go like we're gonna pretty much gonna tell you if you're the asshole in the situation. And we have a really funny one that we actually want to kind of go ahead and get each other's perspectives on, and we have some debates that we might get into. So you're in for a treat. But what's first is sports and entertainment. So you already know where I'm going with this. LeBron James is now the number one all-time scorer in the regular season. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts specifically on his place in history now that he's achieved that?
um, One of the goats, if not the goat, at least of our generation.
Okay.
I know a lot of people say Kobe, a lot of people say Michael Jordan, and while I still think Michael Jordan is probably one of the best players in basketball, I didn't really grow up with Michael Jordan, so I couldn't really see him play. With Kobe, while I do like Kobe, I was more of an Allen Iverson fan growing up. So I, as a small person, kind of went more with Allen Iverson's style than Kobe, but Kobe is still one of the best. But I think LeBron kind of cemented that he is the GOAT of our era just because we've grown up watching him. And I feel like he has never hit a peak. He's remained the same. If anything, there's been seasons, I think, after him leaving to Miami, I felt like that helped him grow into the player that he is now and how much better he's gotten. But I'm pretty sure this cements his place as him being the goat.
Wow. I really, really, really respect that because a lot of people, I mean, man, it's just impossible to even have. I don't really like the debate between like who's a goat and who's a goat here, who's a goat there, because there's so many different
Mhm.
dimensions, and a lot of people, I feel like it's nostalgia driven, and I feel like you hit that point where it's like I didn't really grow up with this person, so how can I say? But you were like if you were 40 or something like that, or 45, you'd be like, no, you didn't know what Michael Jordan did, and it's like,
Mhm.
and then when you kind of try to factor in like saying, you know what, then let's add in stats. Let's say, okay, statistically, who's the best in like statistically, then people are like, it's not about statistics. And it's like, all right, so
Yeah.
it's like, what can we really go on? And I'm totally down for the okay, this is my favorite player, or
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is the goat to me.
Mhm.
That's totally fine. Like to me, I don't ever I see people say that Ray Allen is the best shooter. And I'm like, no, Stephen Curry is the best shooter. Like look at the
Literally.
stacks, look at everything. Like he's the best shooter.
Mhm.
And the way that I kind of define these things in my head, even if I want to go off of nostalgia, if I want to go off my emotion, the way that I kind of cement these things is like look at the look at the wins versus losses if Steph's not on the court, and then look at the wins versus losses if LeBron's not on the court. Like those are things that are crucial to what makes you great at what you do.
Mhm.
And in my head, like being the all-around top well number one scorer, especially, and people try to like kind of give me the idea, like pretty much discredit it and say, well, he's been so long, and I'm like, that's what makes it more impressive.
Yeah.
You're at this high level for such a long time. And they're
And
like,
he's barely getting injured.
yeah, it's
So,
crazy.
he's like super consistent.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's not that I don't like him as a player because I feel like he whines a lot,
hmm,
like a lot of NBA players. But that doesn't change my opinion on him being like the GOAT. Like,
yeah. It's like
so
it's like
it's
separating
there's
the
still
art.
respect there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you couldn't just you could not like somebody's playing style, but still acknowledge that they're great in this way.
Yeah,
And
because
I think,
LeBron outside of basketball, love
yeah.
him.
Oh, of course, of
100%.
course. It
100%.
it's weird not to. Like
Mhm.
you have some weird hate in your heart if you just like,
Yeah.
ah, terrible guy. It's like
Like,
what?
it don't make sense. But
But
yeah.
then yeah, what's going on though? Another great, like we have some crazy shit going on all around basketball. Something else that's crazy are the trades. So some of the big trades that happen in the NBA.
Yeah, which one do you wanna start with?
Oh my God, I want to start with Kyrie because this just it's not it's interesting to me. It's like interesting in the sense of I don't know why you guys did that. You get me? And like that's just where I'm at with it. Like I just don't know why you made that decision. So they
Look,
traded Kyrie to the Mavs. So I don't know. I don't even know how to expound on that.
look, Kyrie is a team killer. Every
Okay.
team he goes to, he destroys them. Self implosion all the time.
After the Cavs, after the Cavs,
After yeah,
I feel like he
after
was a
he
help.
left LeBron,
Yeah. And you think it's like poor management skills, or do you think it's like the association, or do you think that he's just the problem?
he's the problem.
Okay.
Look at
Okay.
all the teams he's been at.
And the successes.
What's the common denominator?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
him.
I think it is that because I can only imagine what the Celtics would have been with a responsible Kyrie.
It's not even about responsibility or anything like that. I feel like Kyrie is a narcissist and he thinks he's bigger than everyone else. And um, if he doesn't agree with something, he takes it way too personal and his ego gets bruised. And then he's like, well, I don't want to play here anymore. So I'm
But don't you
either
think
hurt.
that's a part of responsibility though?
It is, but if you don't acknowledge that what you're doing is wrong, then
Yeah, I get what you're
so
saying. It's like, yeah, you're talking about
you just
responsibility as in like, oh, showing up to games and actually play, but he's
just
more of like
the
a
drama.
emotional person. Yeah, I get you.
The drama that he brings to the teams, because like in his press conference with the Mavs, he's like, "Oh, I did my job with with Brooklyn. I left them in a good place." It's like, dude, you promised to win championship. You guys only won one series. When it was you, KD, and James Harden, you only won one series. You've lost to the Celtics for what, 10 plus games in a row? And the last game that you played in, you got demolished by 30 points?
Yeah,
And then you keep blaming the Celtics fans. Oh, it's the Celtics fans. This is why I blah blah blah. You saged the fucking arena, and then for what?
that's like, yeah, I get what you mean. It's like, yeah,
There's
I get what
levels
you
to
mean.
this shit.
Yeah.
Hold up, because there's even more levels. Because then when James Harden asked for a trade out of Brooklyn to go to the Sixers, he talked shit about James Harden for leaving.
Hmm.
Then when KD was trying to leave in the summer, he was like, "No, me and KD talk. We're gonna work it out. Like we're gonna work the management. We're gonna work the coaches. We're gonna figure this out." And then the day before he gets traded, or 2 days before he requests to be traded, he was saying how he's got Sevens back, um, because KD is hurt. So he's like, "Don't worry, like I got us. We'll handle it until Seven comes back. I have his back." And then you ask for a trade request 2 days later.
Yeah, nah, he's
So
just not like.
I wouldn't trust him at
I
all. I don't
lost I
trust him.
lost hella respect for him. I still like my personal belief, like, and it's just how I think. I think he's I think he is the best ball handler in the league, like no question. I think that the and like I believe that. I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like these are all the same positions that they play. Um, I think that Kyrie's always going to be like in my eyes the best ball handler. I think Chris Paul's going to be one of the smartest point guards, and I think Steph is always going to be the best shooter. Like so, but it's just such a waste because I even look at somebody like Chris Paul who is so dramatic, and I haven't seen him do some shit like that, which is like just it's weird because it's like he doesn't talk he doesn't talk about being so loyal to the point where you give these people so much hope and then you just dip out on them.
That's the part for me because like if Kyrie were to come to like Miami,
Hmm.
I I can't because it will be so much like talk but no action. And then as soon as they do something that he doesn't like, he immediately turns on the team. And he did it with Boston. He promised that he was going to sign in the summer, and then all of a sudden he doesn't want to be in Boston because blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Then he goes to Brooklyn. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna do all this. We're gonna do all that." Then the thing happened. Then after that, he was out at parties. Then after that, he didn't want to get the vaccine. Then after that, what was it? Injuries. Then it was like, "Oh no, we have Ben Simmons back, so we're good." Bro,
I just think that the Ben Simmons memes as well are
are
hilarious.
fucking hilarious.
'Cause
Fucking
he did
hilarious.
all that just to be alone.
Yeah,
But
literally, because
it's
no
like
one wants to play with him either.
I
Who's
also
more toxic, Ben Simmons or Kyrie Irving? Put
oh,
that
Ben
as a
Simmons
question.
100%. Ben
Put that
Simmons
as a question.
all right, all right, all right. I'll put it as a question. My personal opinion, Ben Simmons 100%. Cuz at least one of them plays. At least one of them
Mm,
plays.
well, here's the other thing too, because people were like, "Oh, well, this Kyrie trade is great." Kyrie is putting up the same numbers that he put up last season. Okay, and
That
this
doesn't
season
say a
he's played
lot
a
first
lot
of
more
all.
game. Last season he barely played. He played what, like 18 games last season? This
Yeah,
season, how many games has he played? And he still has the same
that's
stats.
not saying a lot. Yeah. Like I honestly feel like the only person I really do feel bad for, like I genuinely feel bad for two people on that team, and that's Blake Griffin and Seth Curry. Like I
Yeah.
do feel because I feel like Seth was actually finding a flow and heating up, like learning how to learn how to like pretty much learning how to work his game instead of trying to follow a shadow. Like he was doing his thing,
Yeah.
but now you just lost everybody that could have helped you, form.
Yeah.
So it kind
And
of sucks.
it does, but at the same time, I feel like the Mavericks took an L
Yeah.
with that trade.
Okay.
Um, at least with that part of the trade. I think Brooklyn got two good players. Dinwiddie goes back to Brooklyn, and Dorian Smith or Dorian Finney, something like that. Um, he's a good wing player, good defensive player as well. And the Mavericks just got Kyrie, and we will see how that goes because he's only there for the rest of the season. He hasn't agreed to sign after that, and there's rumors going around that he actually wanted to go to Phoenix instead of Dallas.
Mm.
So, which goes into our next huge trade, which is KD to the
KD,
Suns.
man, that's insane to me. Cause to me, I look at that team and I just wish this is my biggest problem. I look at the team and I always see potential, but what kills me is that KD to me has the same issue as AD physically. Like they cannot stay healthy. They just
Mm-mm.
can't. And I think it's like that slim, long, like frame. I don't know what it is, and the position that you play. Like I don't know, because to me, AD, like his position, the position he has to play is terrible for him on his body.
I'm gonna say some hot shit right here.
Ooh, drop it.
Hot take, hot take.
Hot take. Hot
A-
take. Hashi, hashi, hashi.
AD to me has always been overrated. His game
I
is
agree.
whatever. Nothing impresses me that he does.
I agree. He's just
So
big.
I never understood the hype behind him. I never understood why people were like, "Oh, him and LeBron and the Lakers, they're gonna carry and do all this and that." No, he's proven multiple times. He's injury prone, and I don't find that he's a good mix with LeBron. I feel like LeBron needs someone else, just not AD.
I think that a really good. I think they like the Lakers have good plans, but it's just the players that they pick aren't like at their best would be a great fit. Like AD, like Pelicans, AD at his best would have been a great fit because he was a good big man. He knew how to move his body, but he didn't get injured as much because he was younger.
But not only that, AD with the Pelicans, he
Hmm.
was the team. With the
Yeah.
Lakers, this is LeBron's team. You are
Hmm.
playing the sidekick,
And then
and
you
not
have yeah, you're exactly, and then you have Westbrook, who at the time in OKC was all emotion, strong, fast, explosive, exactly somebody who would fit perfectly into the Lakers in theory if they were at that prime. But it's just like they don't mesh well.
see, look, I've called it from
Yeah, you
all
have
the
you
fucking
had
trades.
you called it every time. Every time
Every
you called it.
time, this isn't gonna work out. When it was James Harden, Kyrie, and KD, that wasn't gonna work out. When KD went to play with Kyrie, I'm like, you're fucking stupid. You would leave the Warriors for that. That was
Yeah.
to me one of his biggest mistakes too. Russell Westbrook coming to the Lakers was the dumbest shit of life.
Hmm.
He was perfectly fine playing with the Wizards and Bradley
Yeah.
Beal.
Yeah.
That was the biggest fuck up of his career. He should have never gone to the Lakers. I
Yeah.
get it. He wanted to come home, but no. Now you're in Utah.
Yeah. That was just.
Bless.
But I got upset because I feel like he lost the the game. I feel like he lost that game that ultimately I feel like decided him getting traded. Like
Oh,
that
this last
last
one?
yeah, I
The
feel like that was
LeBron's
the game
last
when
one?
yeah, I feel like that was the game where they're like, "Nah, fuck this." Like cuz all of the turnovers were ridiculous. Rock, listen.
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Because
Mhm.
I caught LeBron's shot and then I stopped watching and then I caught the fourth quarter. So I definitely missed most of the game. But when I tuned in the fourth quarter, Westbrook was carrying him.
Westbrook was okay. So this is the thing. Westbrook was scoring a lot, and he has been doing this thing where he's been pretty consistent and been scoring a lot of points. But his turnovers are the dumbest turnovers you could
Oh
ever
yeah,
think of,
well,
and
that's Russell Westbrook, and
that's a
that's
momentum
it.
shifter. You gotta like people have to understand like that's a momentum shifter, and that will kill the game, especially if you're rallying back. So
Mm-hmm.
they're like 3 points away, 5 points away. He throws up. He has back to back turnovers. He's throwing up lobs from the 3 point line to AD, just throwing them up
That's
when
crazy.
AD has like three people in front of him, thinking that AD's just gonna leap up and dunk. Like he played like shit, and like I said, fucked up with all the turnovers. And they're like, "Yeah, we're done with this shit. Like there's nothing that really could be done. They just need us. They're gonna. What I think they're gonna do is gonna get a solid point guard, somebody who's just
They
all
got
around, just
D'Angelo Russell.
yeah, that's that's exactly what. There you go. Segue. Perfect segue right into the next one. So, like that's what they're doing now. They're saying, okay, we're
Hmm.
gonna get just a solid point guard, somebody that just facilitates, because we don't need all the extra shit. We don't need the superstars, which is
Hmm.
something that they should have been doing. I was cool. Like, I just think that they're also to me just too small of a team
Oh yeah,
because like it's way too small. Yeah, you have LeBron, but then and you have AD, but then at the same time, AD is never healthy.
well, they got Mo Bamba as well. I
He's not
think
big. He's not big.
I know he's not big, but he's long. Um, he's just
He
you know
couldn't
he's
do anything.
thin.
He couldn't do anything. He was getting bodied. Like not even that he was getting bodied. It's just that he was outmanned.
I mean, Austin Rivers bodied him, but I digress. Yeah,
Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers.
I know. But I mean, a lot happened. I think to go back a little bit with the KD and the Suns,
Hmm.
I think that was a loss for Brooklyn because while they got a couple good players, they didn't really get a superstar. Um, because the Suns literally kept CP3, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. Come on, like you could have at least gotten one of those three for
Yeah.
KD. But then again, um, what these trades have showed me is that these superstars don't really like compared to previous draft years where you get a
Yeah.
superstar for a superstar. Right now, it's showing that some of these superstars aren't at that level anymore.
Yeah. We definitely look at the
The
man.
Kyrie trade showed me.
Yeah. And this is where I can actually understand like the older generation when they're like, "Oh, the league just isn't the same anymore." It's
Mhm.
because of things like this. Like you see these trades, like you see how these superstars are acting. Yeah, they have all the talent in the world, but it's just being kind of wasted. And to be real, wasting your years because
Yeah.
you don't have all the good years in the world to not everybody I think a lot of people they look at certain players and they think that they can emulate them and have that same longevity when it's not the case. Dude, like
No.
to me one of the biggest wastes that I've seen would always be Dwight Howard, because Dwight Howard, he stuck to his team for a very long time, and by the time he realized that, oh, this ain't going nowhere and they're doing nothing for me, it was a little bit too late. But when he was on the Lakers, I feel like he was trying to work towards something, and they're just like, it's you wasted your good years, you wasted all your youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a lot of things like that. I feel kind of bad for like those players when they realize that there's no more good years.
Mhm.
Who else? Who
Yeah.
else? Who else got traded up? That's a big name.
I'll tell you what team didn't do shit.
Who?
The Miami Heat. Let me tell you real quick. How the fuck do you guys expect to make the playoffs, but you want to keep Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Max
Yo.
Strus? Should I
You have it
fucking
out for
continue?
Duncan Robinson, bro. You have it out for him.
Bro, he had one good season and they paid him so much money. He doesn't play defense. He is one of those shooters that has imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
He
okay.
yeah, and he's come out and said it. Bro, one good season, we pay him that much amount, like that amount of money, and for what? The
He got
man
the
rides the bench,
he got the Jeremy Lin treatment, huh?
literally. We got
Damn.
fucking fooled. And we made no trades. So another year where we have a bunch of old ass players who are fucking shit, nobody that's tall, and then we keep depending on Bam, who refuses to take over the fucking game. But shout out to him because he's on the All Star team.
But he's so talented. That's what kills me the most about
But
Bam.
he doesn't do anything with it. He
I
doesn't do
know.
anything with it.
That's why I say it kills me because it's like he's so fucking talented. Like you could see it. Like there'll be those glimpses where it's like, where were you the whole game?
Literally, he could take over the game and refuses. And then Jimmy Butler, like, I am so sorry, Jimmy. This is not
Yeah,
what we should have done. Literally.
yeah,
Like, it's just you and Tyler Hero and Bam. Everyone
yeah.
else, fucking shit.
I agree with you on that.
I'm
Damn.
over it. Sorry. That was my little rant. But, like, Miami didn't do shit at
No,
all.
they didn't. Miami didn't do anything. I think that I think for the most part it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next coming in the. I mean, I
After
guess
the All
we're
Star break.
yeah after All Star break. I guess I could say we're way past the halfway mark to the playoffs. Like we're
We're reaching the mid
about the
season.
mid. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like after the All Star break, then that's when it's the second half.
Yeah. So I'll say that we're definitely going to see some weird things happen, and I'm here for it. But
It's been
on
chaotic.
onto the WNBA trades. You take this one. You know way more about it. New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces. What's going on?
Okay, well, first of all, not even trades, but free agency for the WNBA has been ex- at the same level of chaos as the NBA trade deadline. So, the Liberty signed Jonquel Jones, who was the previous MVP, I want to say either 2 years ago. She signed from the Suns, the Connecticut Sun. So now she's in New York with Sabrina Ionescu, and then Brianna Stewart, who played for the Seattle Storm with Sue Bird, she said that she's coming home because she's from New York, from Syracuse. So she now signed with the New York Liberty. And then on that, I think it's Courtney Vandersloot, who used to play for the Chicago Sky, who's a shooter, point guard, also signed with the New York Liberty. So basically, the Liberty right now have a big three. I would say a big four, honestly. They're pretty stacked. I feel like they could still get a couple bench players so that once the starters come out, they'll have a new crew. But I would say I'm excited for to watch them play. Um, Now living in New York, I'm definitely going to try to go
Yeah.
to the city to watch a couple games. But you would think they're the favorites right now because they have like a big three, big four. But no, not really. The Las Vegas Aces are the team to beat. They won it last year. They have
Yeah.
one of the best coaches in the league, and now they signed Candace Parker. Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
So they have a
God
big
damn.
five.
God
Yeah,
damn. So now
yeah.
they pulled the Warriors. So
No,
let's just get KD.
basically,
Let's just get
basically,
KD. Fuck it.
basically, they're literally the Warriors with KD, Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Booney. Basically,
Jesus Christ. No,
yeah.
that's a terror squad.
So they are the favorites to go back to back. I can't wait. Honestly, the WNBA right now is as hype as the NBA.
Yeah.
And the games are going to be good. And hopefully, we see teams that can make a good game of it. But people are basically saying that will be the WNBA finals, the Liberty versus the Aces. So
But
I'm excited to watch.
there's always those sneak ups. I'm looking for I want something crazy to happen. I don't want it to be that. I don't want the underdogs. I want to see some underdog action.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but right now it's looking like either one of those two teams could definitely pull through.
It's insane. All right. So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on Angel Reese? She's gearing up to be one of the most interesting college players of all
Okay.
time. She's
Okay.
grabbed her 20th straight double double.
Mhm.
Uh,
Have you
and
seen
I
her
just
her what is it? Her
her
like
billboard.
celebration? No. Her
No.
celebration or like she does a she licks her
Oh yeah,
fingers?
she goes. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's dope. Like, no, she's killing it, and it's like it's one of those things that it makes you wonder. It makes you really appreciate how strategic and how good these players were. Well, these players are, and
Mhm.
I was I was watching Broad City, and Blake Griffin was on Broad City. It's super weird, super out of left field. And then they're watching the WNBA. He's dating one of the girls, or he hooks up with one of the girls, and
Mhm.
they're watching the WNBA, and he's like, just something about how they play. Like it's way better than us. I just don't know how they do it, honestly. Just so strategic. And it's
Of
like,
course.
yeah, that's true. Like it's it's insane to me. So I really do love to see. I really am happy for her because the I feel like college players, well, female
Mhm.
college players and WNBA, I think that they're always going to be underrated. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I, s-
100%.
I see shifting. I see shifting.
Look, apart from Angel Reese, who I believe is a baller and is going to be top 3 draft picks whenever she goes to the WNBA draft. Um there's a couple other ballers. Uh I want to say her name is Aaliyah Boston, South Carolina. I always forget her last name, but she plays for South Carolina. Beast
Hmm.
in the post. Like I don't think there's a player out there who could stop her. She is a baller. Caitlin Clark, who is basically the Steph Curry in a female version. She had 35 and 10 today.
Jesus Christ, the fuck?
She's a baller. She pulls up from like half court. Doesn't give a fuck. Buckets. She's a straight up bucket. And then you have Cameron Brink, who's been balling for Stanford, also a big. Um, I mean, there's like a handful of ballers out there. Like if you're watching, for sure, once March Madness starts, don't only watch the men's, also watch the
Yeah,
women's game because
definitely,
there's a lot of ballers out there for sure.
definitely. That sounds like something that we need to do.
Yes, sir.
All right, so switching gears.
Hmm.
Grammy night happened this past weekend. I don't know when you guys are watching, but it's a past weekend for us. Um, Beyonce has officially the most Grammys in Grammy history. Clap for her. Clap for
The
that queen.
Queen.
Now, it's a question that I'm gonna have, but we're gonna go into another subject, and then let's go ahead and ask that question.
Then you're gonna come
First
back.
off, yeah, Bad Bunny disrespect. How do you feel about it? Because if you guys don't know, what happened was pretty much instead of having the captions translated for Bad Bunny from Spanish to English during his performance and his acceptance speech, they put it as non-English, like instead of just putting the captions. A lot of people had something to say about it. Internet kind of blew up about it, and so did 50 Cent. I don't know how that happened. 50
That
Cent
was
was upset
crazy.
about it. I was
I
like,
read
wait, what?
about it. I read his post and I was like, "Oh, 50 Cent is one of us. Let's go."
Yeah. And then yeah, so I want to know what your thoughts are about that.
It was fucking racist. That's how I feel. How are you gonna disrespect the biggest artist in the world right now? You're gonna put non-English speaking, non-English singing? Bro, it's the Grammys. You guys couldn't afford a translator, someone to just update your captions, knowing that
I
he's the biggest artist, global artist? Nah, it's
I
racist.
I agree with what you're saying, but this is my thought. I don't see them doing that for anybody. Like if they do that for Spanish artists, they have to do that for any other type of language. Now, when I was watching it, I thought it was just somebody's captions and they just kind of didn't have it, like they just didn't have it working properly or something like that.
See, I disagree with you there because if they could bleep out when he says cabron or when he says a bad word in
Mm,
Spanish, then you could definitely close caption in Spanish and any other fucking language.
okay,
That's not
okay,
English. That's my
all
only
right.
take.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I just like because for me, I was trying to understand the outrage, but I'm not Hispanic, so I can't really understand it the same way you guys can.
Mhm.
So that's why I wanted to ask. But in my head, when I was thinking about it, I was like, all right, but this should be something that is it should be for any. Is it okay to give slack for this year because it's the first time that somebody who is um a non like pretty much has Spanish music. That's the first time Spanish music has had this effect and has been a performance like this.
Well, that just shows you how racist the Grammys are. Because you're telling me that Bad Bunny right now is your biggest Latin artist and has made you listen to him to nominate him for album of the year when we've had a bunch of other artists that could have taken it. Daddy Yankee, Selena,
Hmm.
but you wait for Bad Bunny to blow up globally, and then when you finally have him on stage, when you're finally showing like praising Latin music, you do this,
I get
and
you.
then you just double down and prove how racist you are. I'm sorry.
All
The
right.
Grammys could fuck off.
So then that brings me to the question: do we care? Do we still care about the Grammys?
Absolutely not. I stopped caring about the Grammys when Macklemore beat Kendrick Lamar for Album of the Year.
But then this is the thing, though. How can we celebrate Beyonce being winning the most Grammys if we don't give a fuck about the Grammys anymore?
You know? Because
It's a tough
we
one. It's tough.
no, no, no. I know why. Because I root for everyone that's POC.
Okay.
So yes, Beyonce, yes. I'm gonna give her flowers and I'm happy that she won.
But how can we boycott the Grammys and then give somebody their flowers for winning at the Grammys? Like,
It's
isn't
not her
they?
fault. It's not
Uh,
Beyonce's fault.
okay, I see how you're working it. I
It's
see
not
your
her
angle.
fault.
She ain't making racist.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I get you. All right.
But I do agree with you. I think I personally don't care anymore for the Grammys because if I know the voters are not young people, are not
Yeah.
people of color. They're basically white old men who vote, and they vote based off of who gives them gifts or praise. And that just shows you based on who's won. You're telling me that Harry Styles, and don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed
Yo.
Harry Styles' album. I'm not gonna lie. It was
Okay.
one of my favorite albums of 2022. But it was not better than Bad Bunny's album. It was
Yeah.
not better than Kendrick Lamar's album, and it was
Yeah.
not better than Beyonce's album.
Yeah. I and this is the thing when it comes to that the buying part, there was a bunch of people. All right, so I think they caught Diplo. I don't even know how to say his name.
No, you said it right.
Diplo saying that it was that they bought that when they
Oh
announced
yeah.
Beyonce winning.
Oh. Oh well, you know, I kind of see his part like his side of it because Diplo is an electronic and dance
Yeah.
artist while Beyonce isn't.
But then think
But
about how
Beyonce's
many
album,
people think about how many people are winning these other awards. Think about Macklemore winning over Kendrick. And then
that was some racist ass
we're
shit.
supposed to just be like, well, we're gonna like no, like if we're gonna go ahead and understand that this shit is fucked up,
Well,
let's not say those things because I
well,
guarantee you he wasn't saying that when Macklemore won over Kendrick.
well. Here's the thing too.
I didn't catch him in the crowd mouthing and saying that shit.
I'm gonna hit you with this one too. Um, Harry Styles' song "As It Was."
Mhm.
In the beginning, the little kid that like makes a comment like, "We just want to dance with you, Harry," or something like that. Um, the kid is like their parent is one of the Grammys producers.
What?
Um, and the Grammys posted a tweet congratulating the father because as it was won best pop song.
Yo, man. This
So
shit's
if that doesn't tell
sketchy.
you enough, if that
It's
doesn't tell you
sketchy.
enough, it's all
Uh,
about money and fame and egos. So
oh,
yeah,
egos. I love it.
I don't really care for the Grammys. I'm happy for the people that won that I like. I don't agree with album of the year, but I don't think I've agreed with album of the year for more than 10 years. So
Yeah.
it is what
All
it
right.
is.
So I guess we don't give a fuck. we give a
Literally.
f- we give a fuck when we win.
Yeah. Only when we win. When everyone else wins, no.
All right. So staying on the topic of music,
Mhm.
Billboard just released their top 50 rappers. Um, and your boy made number two on the list.
King
Uh,
Kendrick.
and I don't know. It was a pretty questionable list to me.
Okay.
Um,
Read the top
they,
10 so that we were aware of it. I could tell you 1 and 2 because I did see it. Number 1 was Jay-Z.
hmm
Number 2 was Kendrick. Was number 3 Nas? Or was he
yeah,
number 4?
I think I no Nas was number four, I believe.
Okay.
Uh, let me see. Hold on.
And also, what are they basing it on? Is it just like
That's what people were saying. That's what people were saying. They're like people are confused as to what it's being based on. Let me give you the
yeah, 'cause
top
hold
15
up,
actually.
because
Go ahead.
I did see that number 10 was Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that
Yeah.
number 10 was Nicki.
Okay.
Um, so it's number one Jay Z, number two
Mhm.
Kendrick, number three actually you're right Nas, number four Tupac, number five Eminem, uh, number six Big, number seven Lil
Biggie.
Wayne. Well,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Do you think they'll get confused with Big Sean? Because that would be terrible. That'd be
I'm sorry,
terrifying.
but I'm in New York now, so I gotta just make sure people understand it's Biggie.
I get you. Number eight Drake, number nine Snoop, number 10 Nicki Minaj, and then number 11 Kanye.
Keep
uh,
going.
hold on, Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry.
And then after that, they have. I'm sorry, I want to find one without like the pictures and shit. Oh, boom. I think I got it. Hold on. No, never mind. That's only through 10. Give me a second. Stop yelling at me. Got you. All right, I
Okay.
got it. So then they
I said
have
nothing.
number 11 Kanye,
Mhm.
number 12 Andre, number 13 Rakim, 14 LL Cool J, 15 J Cole, 16 Scarface, 17 50, 18 Ice Cube, 19 Missy Elliott, 20 Big Daddy Kane, 21
You can
DMX.
stop. You can stop. You can stop.
Okay,
You can
cool.
stop. You can stop. You can stop.
I'm sorry, but this list is all over the place. I feel like they just took I feel like they took one and two. I feel like they took one and two and then put them in the said, okay, for old people not to be mad, and we're gonna put this at number one. For young people not to be mad, we're gonna put this at number two. And I feel like they just used a random computer generator for like
The rest.
three two through 50. Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what happened. They just put them out like that because it doesn't make
I
any sense.
I agree with you. The fact that J. Cole is 15 and Drake is 8.
Yeah, and then they have Nicki.
Wait,
Like
wait. Nicki Minaj at 10. Like, no disrespect
that's
to Nicki Minaj, but
no.
like,
Yeah, you're right. You are right. You are right. Nicki should not be at 10 when it comes to top 50 rappers of all time. That's a
oh, it's
crazy
all
thing to
time?
say. It's all time, yes.
Oh yeah,
It's all
no. Let me beat this
time.
this simulation because ain't no fucking way.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's no disrespect to any of the rappers. The only person that I really do agree with genuinely is Jay-Z being number one, but simply because of the longevity and his cadence, his flow. Like, those are things that I could actually look at and could be like, people could measure it and say, okay, this makes sense. Like, and you could also look at record sales. You could look at things that you could put behind your reasoning behind him being the top rapper of all time. But
Okay.
everybody else, like, you kind of can't. And I heard that, like, a lot of people, like, people were complaining, not complaining, but questionable about even Kendrick's place, not because he's not great, but hear me out, not because he's not great, but because of his youth. So it's kind of like how people, y- you can't, of all time means throughout all the 50 years of hip hop, right? So it's like,
Okay, I get what you're saying.
there's a lot of shit that's happened in between for you to say, oh, this person that's been out for like X amount of years. We could say that Kendrick's been really relevant for like the past 10 to 12 years, right?
Hmm.
That's a big chunk, but in between, I, it's just hard to say number two of all time over Pac, over Biggie. Like, it's hard to say that.
I agree with you there. I would like to know like what were the standards or what they were
Nobody
following
knows. That's why.
because it just makes no sense to drop a top 50 list for hip hop and then have no explanation as to why you picked them in this order because it makes zero sense to me.
That,
I agree with some of them on the list,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
the positioning, mm,
Like,
yeah. And are you basing it like on your personal like, or is it? Yeah, we need to know the standard of why this was the order because like that shit don't make sense to me.
I'm still weirded out as to why Snoop is at number 9, and then you have so many.
Eminem is on there too. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
and Ludacris is 39. This is strange. It's just strange to me. It's just strange. So I'm like,
When's the
I don't
last
know.
time Ludacris dropped something?
Yeah, but that's the
And
thing.
this
It's
isn't
all
like a
time
shot at
though.
Ludacris either because
Yeah,
he makes some fire ass music.
yeah, like,
But like, when's the last time he dropped something?
yeah. But the thing is that, well, Fast and Furious movies always have a
I
Ludacris soundtrack.
mean, whatever.
But like, and that's a good point, right? So, like how you just said, all right, relevancy. When's the last time Ludacris dropped something? So you have him at 39 because it's like, oh, he hasn't been relevant for a while, right? But then you
Mhm.
have Ice Cube at 18. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Not even that Snoop.
yeah, exactly. So, and what you call it? I just want to also point out that number 11 is Kanye, who is my favorite artist, and then number 12 is Andre, which is my favorite rapper. So
We'll see. I'm with
just
number 2 and
sequencing.
15. You got Kendrick, and
it's
then you have J. Cole
it's
all the
really
way down there.
strange. But yeah, I don't know. These lists, they every year they come out, just gets more confusing to me as to what the standards are for
I want to
a
know
good
who
rapper.
these people are.
Great point. Great point.
I think that's key.
All right, so into the next, the last topic that we're talking about, as far as sports and entertainment, Jake Paul versus not Tyson Fury.
Hello,
Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, who is Tyson Fury's
little brother.
brother. Yeah. So this match has been in the making for a long time. It's finally about to happen, February 26th. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Jake Paul wants to prove himself against what they call a quote unquote a real boxer. I think Jake Paul is uh, cool for the sport of boxing because he's bringing a lot of eyes to it. Do I think he's a top boxer? No, I think he's exactly where he should be given the amount of time he's been training, which is great, and the amount of money he's had to pretty much put into training because You think of greatness when it comes to boxing. You think of like, oh, he should be X. He shouldn't be in this space with these great people. And I'm like, you don't understand. When you're a fighter, like a lot of fighters are very poor, which is why they're fighting. So they have to find time to train, then go to work, then go to school, then take care of kids and do all this stuff. You have this person who is already fucking rich and chooses to fight. This is a hobby. So he has so much money to just pour into fighting. Of course he's going to be good. I don't know why anybody's surprised, but people just want him to get shut up. So I guess we're looking forward to that or something like that. But
I do not care.
yeah, same. All right. So time to kind of jump right into it. Our series recap. Have you been watching anything special? I know you have.
Only
It's called
the best
The
show
Last of Us.
out.
So tell me, what are your thoughts on The Last of Us? I saw the first episode. So tell me what you thought.
Um, well, as someone who played the game years ago, but only like part of it, not even the whole thing. At first I was really excited because I like the cast. Obviously, Pedro Pascal is from Chile, so I'm a big fan, and he's also the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Yeah.
Um, so I'm very excited for him to be getting these opportunities and to show people like us Chileans, we're not that bad either. Um, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then I watched the first episode and I cried. Um, yeah, I
Interesting.
at first I didn't think it was going to be an hour and a half long, but I will say this: the cold opens that they had for at least the first two episodes, first two, 3 episodes, have been amazing for me because it basically, spoiler alert, it basically shows how we all think differently for a pandemic.
Hmm.
Um, the first one is just you seeing what is happening while others are probably oblivious to what's
Hmm.
happening. And then once it explodes, just how everyone panics differently, how everyone thinks differently on how to survive, how to escape. Um, and then how quickly either the military or the government switches on you.
Yeah.
And
100%.
then obviously after that, how now they're all living in like quarantine zones. But even there, you start to see like who's the good guy or who's the bad guy, depending on how you want to view it. So I thought that was really interesting. And the same with the second episode where we figure out where it started and how it started and how like the scientist was like the only way we could control this is to bomb
Yeah.
everything.
The
When she
one with the
said bomb,
morals.
yeah, bomb, 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 bomb.
Yeah.
Um, so that to me, like that gave me a different type of anxiety because I was like, oh my God, like that's something that could literally happen to us now based
Yeah.
off of what we went through in 2020. So I think it was a good perspective for me to see it in that way, but for me, it's the best show that's come out in a while.
Okay. I like that perspective. I saw the first episode. And I saw a little bit of the second. I I gotta stop because I think it's what happens all the time. Not I'm not into it that much
Mhm.
because I think it's good. I just think I keep waiting for it to get better and better and better and better because of the things that I've heard. And
Yeah.
I also don't play video games, so I
Mhm.
never played the game, so I have no idea what's going on.
Mhm.
But I just have to I guess I have to watch it with more of an open heart because I'm just one of those people. When I keep hearing about something, then I have to go into it like just
I
fuck what
think
everybody says.
I think we've switched
Yeah,
how we view shows now because now even when I go to movies, my expectations are low.
yeah,
So I'm not disappointed, and that's how it went with this because I was like, all right, they're doing a video game into a TV show. There's only one or two other video game TV shows that I really enjoyed.
yeah.
Um, and one of them was Arcane, and that was like an animated or whatever you call it
That's true.
series. This one took me by surprise because I was
Yeah.
not expecting to be this deep into it to the point where like I'm following the Reddit pages. Um yeah.
Damn.
I'm yeah, I'm into it now, and even at work like I've gotten a couple more people to watch it, and a lot of my students, I didn't know if I could say that or not, but I think I can.
Mhm.
I was confused for a second. I was like, I can say that. A lot of my students are watching it too, so we've been talking a lot about it. But again, they also played the video game, so it's a
See, yeah.
it's different.
I gotta give it. I gotta keep giving it a chance. I'm gonna finish it. I know
Hmm.
I am. I just. I want to finish it so I can get like a good idea of what I think about it. And that's
Hmm.
just where I am
Yeah,
with it right now.
yeah.
But
No,
what you
to me,
call it?
the first episode was a 10 out of 10 for me. Second episode was also really good. The third episode, I think, is a heartbreaker, but it also to me felt like a filler episode.
Don't keep
Um,
going. I want to watch it.
and then the fourth one was good too. The
Stop
fifth
it.
one comes out tomorrow.
Can you not? I'm telling you to not. And you
Hold
keep
up, the fifth
going.
one comes out tomorrow because the Super Bowl is on Sunday, which we did not
Yeah.
talk about, but whatever.
Oh wait, yeah, it is Friday right now.
Hmm.
I forgot.
Oh yeah, shit, my bad. It comes out today.
Alright. No, wait. You're right. Tomorrow.
No, today's Friday.
Oh wait, so they're releasing it on Friday.
They're releasing it tonight because the Super Bowl is on Sunday, so they don't want to interfere with the Super Bowl ratings.
What the Super Bowl's on Sunday? Like, what does that have to do with Saturday? Why didn't they release it on Saturday then?
I don't fucking know.
Reading so deep into it. Okay. All right. So now I
This is all
watched.
you because I haven't watched any of these.
I think the rest of them are like kind of all me.
Hmm.
But I watched what you call it, that '90s show. Uh, thoroughly disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to you. The people, but I was surprised. They had people come in, whatever, make cameos. That was great. I love cameos. I love them. But the people that carried the show were Reddit and Kitty, and they were phenomenal. Love them, love them, love them.
Did they not carry the original show too? Anyways.
No, because you cared about the people. You cared about everybody else. You
Mm,
like it was a story about, it was a story about the '70s, the kids in the '70s and stuff like that. But this one, I did not give a fuck about any of the kids.
damn.
Like in the best way it was described as a bunch of like high school kids like performing theater, and that's pretty much how I felt. So yeah, that was low on my list. And I also watched Velma. You want to know how that went? About
Awful.
as good as you thought it did. It was trash. It was garbage. You know what? It's I thought it was going to be an interesting concept. But what they did is that they just kind of tried to make funny cliche jokes, and they try to make all these funny cliche jokes, and they just made it uncomfortable and annoying, and like, why did you say that, and awkward, and they try to relate to young people so much by making everybody gay. They went ahead and like made so many penis jokes and talked so much about, like, so negative about white people and stuff like that, and that was the whole show. And it's like, bro, we get it, but it's like overdoing it. They super sexualized everything. They didn't make it fun. And then what bothered me the most is that there was like no storyline. There's no definite storyline, even though it leads you to believe that there is a storyline. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is just a bunch of nothing. And then on top of that, Scooby Doo isn't even in the show. So what the fuck is the point? It was just
Um,
craziness.
from what I've read, I think the whole point of the show for Vilma, at least, is to finally do like the fanfic of Velma and Daphne dating. Um, because everyone, like, for years has been obsessed with both of them having a relationship because they have better chemistry. Um, I honestly don't care for any of
But
the
then
2 shows that you said.
that doesn't make any sense because then Velma also has a crush on Fred, and she also has like a love interest who's Shaggy. It doesn't make sense. So it's like if that's the case, they're not doing a very good job. And
Nah, I
even with
mean, I'm not surprised. Not surprised
it's
at
just a bunch
all.
of annoyingness.
Well, not
And
only
it's a
that, but, like go ahead, sorry.
no, I was gonna say it's a specific thing that was brought to my attention. It's something that Mindy Kaling, because she's the one that created the show, something that she always does. So with all of her shows, she is always playing pretty much a misunderstood Indian girl who
Who dates a
has
broken white
who
boy?
yeah, who dates a broken white person, and then on top of that makes Indians out to like, well, I don't think she did that in film. I don't remember if she did that in film, but like pretty much makes Indians out to be undesirable in some way or another by how
Well,
she portrays them.
not only that, she really falls into the stereotypes where, it's either a nerd white boy
Hmm.
with someone who's POC and just falls into the stereotype where the POC either saves the white boy or the white boy saves the POC.
Yeah.
Um, and cool, doing it one time, like you did it in the office, that's fine, but doing
Hmm.
it in every single show that you
Every
do,
single show. So
that's
it's
not
like
cool.
it's just annoying at some points. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was
No,
that.
none of these shows interest me. That 90s show, I didn't even know it was coming out because honestly, I didn't really watch that 70s show or cared for it.
Oh.
Um, with Velma, I only heard like the negative stuff and how it was like rated the worst show ever, but it got a
Yeah.
season 2, which made no sense to me. But yeah, money. It be what it be. Watch The Last of Us, HBO Max, top tier.
Bet, bet, bet. Now, 3, 2, 9. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is just jump into our special topic. So, special topic for today is, well, we're proposing the question to you guys and for ourselves as well. Is AI going a bit too far? So there's been a lot of things going on with AI. You know, you can AI create an AI generator.
Hold up, hold
Uh,
up, hold up, hold up. Before you even get that far, could you explain to the viewers what AI means?
oh, so okay, okay, perfect. So it's artificial intelligence. If you guys don't know, so what people are doing is pretty much creating these AI generations for your everyday needs, things that you want to do, or just trivial things like art, your essays, your math equations, job, pretty much job. What's the word?
Descriptions?
Resumes. Yeah,
Resume.
no
Okay.
resumes. Just anything that you want to do. AI porn. And if you don't know what that is, like it's kind of like also deep fakes. So deep fake is when you could actually put somebody's face on somebody else's body.
Else's body?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like people
that's
do that with porn and stuff like that. It's crazy.
yeah.
And it's gone to a point where it's become indistinguishable. So what are your thoughts on it? Let's start with music, with AI music.
I've honestly haven't heard any AI music. But that's I don't know, it's just very weird that it's a big thing right now. Um, like I understand technology and advancing and all that stuff, but some of these things are just very weird.
I get you.
But
Like,
explain the AI music to me because I honestly haven't heard anything AI music. At least I don't believe I have.
okay, so there was an artist named I think it was Lil Tecca or something like that.
Okay, that sounds
Uh,
familiar.
I could be completely wrong, honestly.
Sheesh. Well, don't do that. Where's Jamie?
Oh wait, never mind. Lil Tecca's an actual person.
Oh, sheesh.
Um,
Also, while you're doing that, do you see the header that says J squared test?
oh shit. Sorry about that, guys. I don't
Okay,
even know why
cool.
I still have that. All right, so the name of the rapper is oh shit. FN Mecca. My bad.
Close
Uh,
enough.
so pretty much FN. Right? No, that's right. I was like same shit. Um,
Close enough.
Pretty much FN Mecca is a virtual rapper that was built by an AI, pretty much AI power. Through the role of an AI characters, musical appearances have been overstated. On the surface, the saga of FN Mecca appeared to be a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of music powered by artificial intelligence. So, what had done happened was, yes, so I'll explain it. What done happened was they made this AI rapper. He started making music,
Okay.
um, but he started saying nigga, and they're like, "Wait, who made this character?" And pretty much he got canceled.
Oh
So it's
shit.
like still hilarious, and it's kind of like that little balance of like how we're still like, nah, but you can't do that though. Like how the new generation still takes control over this type of shit. But yeah, it was just like he'd make pretty generic music and then they'll just throw a beat on it. And like literally, it's the creepiest thing. You could be like, "Hey, AI, whatever, go ahead and write me a rap song or sing me a rap song," and they'll merge all these things together and then create the song. Or you could say, "Hey, AI, make me a mix between Titanium by David Guetta, um, Toxic by Britney Spears, and a Kodak Black song," and it'll take like maybe 4 hours, come out with a perfect melody of what would happen if all four of those songs got meshed together with unique lyrics. So it's pretty scary, but the song was fire. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like
Interesting.
yeah. So I don't know how to
It's
feel about it. I'm always for the advancements, but is it too far?
I
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't like that. I don't like that. As a person who's like very into music and heavily like involved in
Mhm.
music, I don't like that. Um
What is it that
I
you
th-
don't like? Because I have an argument for it because it's like uh, you could not like it, but then do we take away? Because you know me, I'm an extremist, so it's
mhm.
like all or nothing with me. So it's like, all right, if you take away that part, like because it's like not very human, doesn't really take as much talent as sitting down, putting together your own lyrics and things like that. Do you also take away a producer's uh, beatbox because they're not real drums, they're not real snares, they're not this, they're not that? Do you take away sampling? Do you take away
Well,
these things?
okay, I see that, but
You
I
get what I
believe
mean?
that's a little bit different than having a whole AI that uses someone else's flow and
Yeah.
beats and creates their own thing, but is not even a living person. So like you're basically listening to whatever the computer makes, and I don't know, it just goes back to like what part of the simulation we're in
Hmm.
where now the robots are taking over.
Pretty much.
And
And the
not
cra-
only in like person but also in our arts.
hmm
So you're telling me music and art is where they're taking over as well? So
and
what's next?
that's what's crazy to me because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, yeah, this is actually pretty creepy. But
Mhm.
oh yeah, by the way, FN Mecca sounds exactly like Takashi 69, and it was the weirdest thing to me because I'm like, what? Why? But anyway, the thing is, w- are we going are we going to let the fear of AI kind of drive us away from that thing, or are we going to start to embrace parts of it? Because I think it kind of leads into AI art because I see a lot of artists complaining about AI taking their jobs.
That's also part of it too, because you could even talk about like email and mailing stuff in the post office.
Hmm.
Um,
So it's like you have to pick. You have to say, all right, am I against technology running things, or am I for it, or how can I monetize off of it?
I think it's a mixture of all three of what you said because it's not like, oh, I'm team technology, so I'm only doing email. No, because like while the rest of us, like most of us, I wouldn't say most of us, while everyone in the world uses technology, we still use the post office for other things, or we still, send mail through the post office.
I counter that because it's
How
like
does this work?
all right, so this is the thing. If you could stay home, you would. When it comes to the post office, or when it comes to the DMV, or when it comes to any, if you could stay home and do those things, you would.
Mm-hmm.
The And the pandemic kind of showed us like we would only like the only times that we really got sick or really wanted to go to the post office or something like that or to the supermarket was because we couldn't. Like, and in my in my opinion, it's like why are we why are we pretending like these things are things that we wanted to do in the first place? You get me? It's like because I nobody wants to go to the post office. So if they took that away, if they said, "Hey, you know what? We're coming to you. You never have to step into the post office again." We're probably gonna be like, "All right, yeah, that sounds dope."
Well, then we're gonna become the people from Wally, the
That's
movie,
exactly what people were saying too.
where we literally are just on a sofa and the sofa
I already
literally
got
does
mine.
everything for it. Yeah.
I already got
Um,
mine. I'm good.
Not a big fan of that. I kind of agree with the artist on this because if that's the point, or if that's what we're moving towards, then a lot of talented people are just gonna be like, well, what's the point if a robot could do it?
Yeah, but I mean,
And
do
I
we?
feel like it kind of loses its culture. Um, or not even its culture, but like, well, yeah, I would say that. A lot of people who are talented are just going to be like, well, if a robot could do it, then it doesn't matter. And if people are going to start going more with AI stuff instead of real human being stuff, then I don't want to be a part of this simulation.
I get you. Then, like, I guess that where you're coming from is like kind of like a hybrid way though, because it's like you still watch, you would still watch something like Archine, right? Which is not fully a hand-drawn animation. It's computers. It's 3D animation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like nobody's like really like people aren't really drawing scene by scene, frame by frame like they used to. So it's kind of like saying, you know what, I could go ahead and I don't like you don't like it fully taking control. You're okay with it taking control of part thing, but still having humans be a part of the art.
Yeah, I think it's more like if it's helpful for humans to get it done quicker, or
Hmm.
if they need help with something, then yeah. Because like even with like the Mandalorian, they're
Yeah,
not going to these different locations. They're using
green screens
the
and shit like that.
no, it's not even a green screen. It's like this big ass screen that
Hmm.
literally moves and rotates with you
Oh,
wherever
okay,
you go. Fucking sick. Like the
that's
technology
pretty
in
dope.
that is amazing. Yeah. Um, that little things like that, because there's still people working on it. There's still people who build that technology. And especially like with everything that happened in 2020, like that makes sense. We don't have to travel to all these different places when we could do this in a studio. But I think it's more of how much of it is taking away from humans who are putting in the work. Because right
I
now, with like going back to the music thing, the fact that it could sample three, four, five different songs, create random lyrics for it, and create a whole beat within what, 4 hours? What's the point
Yeah,
of me getting a rapper or getting whatever artist, getting a producer, getting a sound engineer? What's the point if this AI could do all of that in 4 hours?
and that's my thing. My thing is that I think that we have to, and I might be on the wrong side of history with it. I don't know. I'll live and I'll learn. But I think we might be at a place where we have to start following our passions for being passions and not because they
Oh
make
yeah.
money.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
even if an AI could drum 10,000 times better than you, you're not going to stop drumming. You're not. You're going to be like, I love doing it. And
Yeah.
that should be why we do anything we do, right?
Mhm.
So if AI could do my job and I could still make like a couple dollars or something like, or I could still make the same amount of money that I'm making now, and they could do my job and they're like, hey, look, there's not really a need for you. I'd be like, all right, cool. As long as I'm like still doing what I love, I don't really mind because it's not going to really affect me in that sense. But I guess I understand where it comes when it comes from somebody who actually makes money off of their art or what they're doing. I guess my moral dilemma is that I can't be for something halfway, and I'm trying not to do that anymore. But it's just hard for me to be some for something halfway because it's like we make so many exceptions. I don't want to make an exception on something that could make somebody's life infinitely harder because we
Mhm.
take jobs away from people all the time, uh, just because it will produce something a lot faster. So why is this different?
Mhm.
You get me? But
Yeah.
it's just difficult. It's so hard. And
Yeah.
then oh, onto I mean onto the next thing. There's Chat GPT. So
I don't know what that is. So explain
I'll
that.
explain it to you. It's
Oh god,
amazing.
I'm
All right.
scared.
So ChatGPT, it's one of the things that I explained a little bit earlier, but pretty
Mhm.
much ChatGPT.
Are these the
Uh,
deep fakes?
no, the deepfakes are completely different. Deepfakes is like what you do with the AI porn. That's like where you just put
That
somebody's
shit yeah, that shit
yeah,
is insane. That
it's
that
crazy, right?
is insane.
It's
Like,
like
literally, you could pick anyone and then just switch the face of someone that you
yeah,
want. That's wild
exactly.
because that's how you could just make, um, porn videos and then accuse people of like, "Oh, no, this is you."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you could, like, make money off of that too, because you could be like, "Oh, I have your porn video," and it's literally not even you, it's just your face on someone else's
Dude.
body.
And that's what drives me crazy because I'm like, yo, if
You could
you could do
extort
that,
anyone.
you could extort it. Exactly, you could extort anyone. But also, you have the perfect excuse if you do some fuck shit. Like, that's not me. That's a deep fake. What are you talking about, baby? Baby, I
It's
love you.
a
It's a double-edged sword.
it's a double That's a good take, though.
It's true. It's like, yo, man,
Mm.
I ain't got to take the blame for it.
Nah.
But that's the thing. It's like, it is getting out of hand. It is getting out of hand. And those deep fakes, like, I mean, I don't even know. Like, all right. So there was a time where it was like, I think it was like 2016 or 2018. I don't remember. But somebody just hacked every celebrity's phone and just leaked all their nudes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
all of their nudes got leaked. And at that point, if it was nowadays, any of them could have been like, those are deep fakes. That's not me. What the fuck? I would never. I don't even have that type of phone.
Mhm.
Like it's crazy. Like it could have been
Yeah,
that could have been avoided, but now everybody just had to swallow it. Like fuck it, yeah, it was me. All right.
literally.
So and then we have Chat GPT, which
Mhm.
is like pretty much you could automate whatever you could say, hey Chat GPT, I have a job coming up and I need them to know that I worked at this restaurant, I've worked at this restaurant, I worked at this restaurant, and I've done this and I went to this school. And can you go ahead and can you make it very extensive, very use very smart words, but do it in 5 sentences. And then you'll just see it typing click, 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 completely cohesive, completely perfect. And it will make it sound super personal, which is the scary part.
Oh,
So
shit.
yeah.
It's like it
Or
has its own mind.
exactly. And that's why
That's
it's scaring
crazy.
people. Same thing with math equations. You could say, hey, ChatGPT, can you find X and this, and that, this and that. You put the whole equation there and it's like, and show your work. Bam, 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 shows its work and everything. So you just
See,
have to
I don't
copy
like
it.
that. I don't like that. That's
It's
that's like
crazy.
iRobot levels for me.
It is. It is.
Mm,
And then,
mm-mm.
dude, you could say, hey, you could write out this whole essay and then say, hey ChatGPT, uh, make this so easy that a 5-year-old can understand it. It'll take that essay. The dog jumped over the river, like something super simplistic. So
It's
it's just
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy. I love it. I mean, I love it because I like to see the height that we can go. Like at least in my lifetime, I want to see how high we go with that technology. Is it scary? Yes, it is scary. But is it pretty dope? Yeah, it is pretty dope. Like I want to see that stuff.
I feel like this is like a Black Mirror type of episode that's coming up, and we're
Yeah, I
living it.
know.
It's
soon we're
just
gonna have
very
con.
weird.
Soon we're gonna have contacts, and it's just gonna have our credit. We're gonna look at things like because this is where I think this is how I think about it. If I could look at my phone and then it opens my phone, or if I could hold put my thumb to my phone and then it brings up my credit card, eventually I'm just gonna have contacts. I'm gonna look at something, ching 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 ching. It's gonna pay for it for me, and then I'm just gonna be on my way.
Well, it's like the episode in
The
Black Mirror. I
credit
think
card
there's
one, or the
no,
where
no,
she
no.
had credit.
It's that one, and then there's the other one where like you could replay your memories, and it's like a chip inside
Yeah.
your ear or like on the side of your brain, where you
Hmm.
could just rewind and replay it. It's similar to that because when they were like in that episode when they were doing it, he was just going back to a memory of them previously doing it
Hmm.
instead of being in the moment. And I feel like
See.
that's the one thing that scares me because no matter how advanced this gets technology wise, we're not going to be living in the moment. We're going to
Yeah.
be living in an actual simulation, or even if this is a simulation, who knows? But that's
It
like
is.
the thing that scares me too, because it's like right now you could even tell people, you walk down the street, you go to restaurants, you go to movies, you go anywhere, everyone's on their phone. No one is
Yeah.
living in the present right now. um so it's already showing, but this is just like another level that I don't, I'm out.
I know it's so creepy. It's so creepy. I'm here for it. I mean, you guys let us know what you think. I mean, ah, it's a little crazy, but what do you guys think? Has AI gone too far? All right, I think we did it with that with that special topic.
Hmm.
But we are going to go on to Ximena Needs to Know. I'm not gonna go over what it was. Watch the last chapters to figure it out. All right, so you take this one.
Okay.
Oh, you're not on it?
um no, I'm on it, just give me a second. All
You're
right.
like, damn, don't be springing stuff on me. I like that.
Shit. Shit, I wasn't ready. All right. So there was a deadly earthquake that happened in Turkey and Syria. More than 21,000 people have been killed and tens of thousands are injured. And the magnitude of the earthquake was 7.28. It struck on Monday. Um, Basically, from what we've seen, started off in the 3,000s and it jumped up to 10, 11,000, and it just keeps going up as they're still trying to find people who are missing. A lot of teams are racing to rescue survivors as aid agencies warn of a snowfall. So, apart from the earthquake, they're also going through like really deadly cold temperatures. So, that's made it difficult to rescue a lot more people just because, apart from one disaster, now they're getting into very terrible weather. There's
Yeah.
also a lack of water, communication, and power. And I also read that the president has asked for state of emergency for 3 months while they try to recover from all of it. And the worst part, or like one of the worst stories I read from it, was about the kid that was born on the day of the earthquake and was still attached to their mom's umbilical cord.
Oh my god.
And here's the worst part: the baby was the only person to survive. Mom, dad, and 4 or 5 siblings all died.
God damn.
So
That's so
there's a
sad.
bunch of there's a bunch of stories like that. There's a couple of football players who are missing. One famous Turkey goalkeeper who plays for their league was found dead. There's other famous soccer players who are still missing and cannot be accounted for. Um, so, and still a bunch of people who are being pulled out, a bunch of kids that I've seen videos of. So, yeah, it's it's really really bad.
Fuck, man. That's really deep. My
Yeah,
hearts go out to them.
yeah.
Like,
Prayers up for Turkey and Syria because that's
yeah,
just it's a lot.
that's crazy because it's like you you never imagine something like that happening. Like, but then when it does, it's like fuck. Like, what do people even do, right?
I don't know, man. I just know that I don't want to live anywhere where they have earthquakes just because it occurs out of nowhere. At least with hurricanes, like in tornadoes, there's
You kind
somewhat
of
of a
see them
warning.
coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Because apart from earthquakes, the next step, like if you're living close to the coast, is tsunamis. And that's just like a double whammy. So,
Even worse.
yeah.
Shit. All right.
So,
Well, in other news, Biden gave his State of the Union address. This happens every year. Pretty much, the president goes up and talks about what they've done and what they're gonna do. Blah blah blah. So, in his State of the Union address on Tuesday, President Biden touted the economic progress and legislative achievements made under his watch, repeatedly saying, "Let's finish the job." A refrain likely to be heard as his unofficial pitch for re-election. Unofficial peach, a lit. Biden's unofficial peach.
hey.
Biden urged Congress to pass a lengthy list of his unfinished priorities. There's so much more to do, he said. Pretty much, he was just calling lawmakers to pass police reform, immigration legislation, codify abortion rights, and pretty much cap the price for insulation at $35 a month.
Insulin.
Sorry, insulin. Insulation is for walls.
Yeah.
Cap the price of insulin for at $35 a month. Repeating his call for Congress to raise the debt ceiling with no preconditions. And he also talked about how unemployment rates are slowing down, were lowering and slowing down inflation. And he ushered in a historic amount of 300 bipartisan laws around issues such as improving infrastructure, boosting domestic semiconductor manufacturing, and improving veterans benefits, and funded over 20,000 projects, including major airports from Boston to Atlanta to Portland. He said, and we're just getting started apparently. Uh, he was also stressed. He also stressed the Congress to pass the George Floyd Act after the death of Tyree Nichols, who was beaten to death last month by Memphis police. And he pretty much claimed that what happens too often, and we need to do better, like they
Mhm.
always say.
Mhm.
Um, Biden's approval ratings have remained stubbornly underwater since August 2021, and surveys show even some Democrats would prefer an alternative presidential nominee. A recent Washington Post ABC News poll found that a majority of Americans, 62%, think that Biden has not accomplished much during his first 2 years in office. Um, and these laws so far have not helped the poll numbers. Biden tried to emphasize the tangible benefits. He also reiterated the optimism in finding issues where members of both parties could find common ground, supporting veterans, ending cancer, and beating the opioid epidemic. So pretty much, he's just trying. Like, I mean, this is my personal opinion. Um, Please do not take what I'm saying as your truth. As a black man in America, I feel like he hasn't done shit, and I don't think any politician has done shit. I feel like they talk about doing a lot of things, and I think that the talks really get heavy when it comes around re-election year. And what bothers me and kills me about this whole thing is that is when I hear things like our thoughts and prayers go out when you're in a position of power. And another big thing to me is that I feel like I'm being bullied into voting for who's the lesser evil. And I honestly don't want to vote. I'm not voting anymore because of those reasons. And as a black man, I'm not going to be bullied anymore by white people telling me that I'm not black if I don't vote for them. So that's just I've 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 I thought about it and I was like, yo man, I got duped and I'm just not I'm not with that.
Cool.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be heavy. Didn't mean to be heavy.
Yeah. I did not watch this because I could care less.
Hmm.
Which sounds bad, but honestly, like you said, to me it's all talk right now. Um I know that if anything, we need to be more united, both Democrats and Republicans, because there's a lot of issues that are happening, but instead of fixing it, we're playing, um, oh, I'm Team Trump. Oh, I'm Team Biden. No, we're supposed to be like Team America, where we all are trying to make America better for all of us, right? Not just white people, but all of us. And that's the problem right now, where it's like, well, Republicans want um white Christian people to take over. They want to cancel all of women rights so that white men can decide what they could do with our bodies and not. They don't want to help immigrants. They want to take money away from Social Security and veterans, which is why Biden kind of pulled the card and said that Republicans want to take away like your Social Security benefits, and that's when they started screaming liar and all this other stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Heard about that
so
too.
he definitely pulled that card out so that Republicans could publicly say that they're against it, and then later on when they do it, he could like Uno reverse it and show, oh, but you said at the State of the Union that you were against it, but now you're voting for it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I
add
get
up.
you.
And I feel like a lot of politics or just in general with these things that are happening, it's a lot of that instead of trying to unify
Yeah.
and move forward. So I feel like in America, it just keeps going backwards.
It is. It's just a revolving door, and it's annoying to me because I'm like, damn, dude, I feel like I got duped. Like I feel like I got duped, and I should have seen it coming. Like
Hmm.
as soon as I heard the phrase, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black," I should have been like, yo, fuck both of y'all. But I didn't. So yeah, I can only do better next time and like actually look into who I'm voting for, which I encourage everybody to do.
I
Everybody should look
think
into who they're voting for if
I
you
think
choose to
I
vote.
no, I agree with you with choosing or like doing research on who you want to vote, even if it's not like the popular
Hmm.
Democrat or Republican,
Yeah.
even if you vote independent, but at least vote. Even if it's not for
Okay.
presidents, vote for like other laws that should be passed. Vote for like your local government.
Hmm.
Um, don't just only go out to vote for presidents.
Yeah.
Um, because presidents only affect us for what 4 8 years, but the
Hmm.
laws that we pass in our states, depending on how long we stay there, are going to affect us in the long term, and
That's a
not
very
only
good point.
us but like our kids and their kids. So that's the only thing I'm urging you too, Jay, to look into, like do research on that more than the president, because the president is just a face.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's something that I should definitely look into more, being completely transparent. I just don't, and I tried to do the big thing, but the big thing was the wrong thing and it made me
Yeah.
feel bad. So I'm definitely gonna go ahead and look into doing that more. And I urge everybody else to. And if I do and I don't see anything I like, then I won't go for it. But like
Yeah, that's
everybody else,
mhm.
everybody should do that. Everybody should look into it at least. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you being that friend to be like, hey, don't just make a decision off of your feelings.
Mhm.
Appreciate that.
And that's the problem with a lot of America, where we're going more with our feelings, where it's like, oh well, he's the lesser evil.
Yeah,
Yeah, but is he really
yeah,
doing anything for us? Because he's not really doing anything for us. But then again, who has really done anything for us?
exactly. You get it.
So, so
But on to some happier news.
there we
Now
go.
that the now that the day of love is coming up,
Ugh.
we have a story for you that's just gonna warm your heart. So just in time for V Day. Uh,
Bleh.
listen, all right. Not everybody needs this. Some people like
It's
to be
just another
happy. Okay.
day.
No,
It's
it's
just
not just
another
another day.
day.
It's a day of love, a day of
No,
caring, a day
love
that
is
you should
dead.
start caring about. You know what? You know what? You need to go out there. You need to go out there. Get yourself go on. You know what you should do? You should do speed dating for Valentine's Day. You should find a place in your area and do speed dating. It'll be
You
super
know,
fun. You could go with some girlfriends and just be like, "Ooh, yay," and then just do the whole thing.
nah, I'm good.
You see what I mean? You don't want to try. You don't want to
Just
try.
tell the
Hey,
story,
this
Jay.
is why you'll never end up like Vicky Mortez and Graham Kidner. Okay?
I
So
don't want to be them.
this couple met during chance on an encounter and during chance, and they now plan to celebrate their 40th wedding anniversary. All right, so if Vicky Mortez and Graham Kidner hadn't booked standby tickets for a World Airways flight from Washington D.C. to London and snagged seats on the last plane, they wouldn't have been celebrating their 40 years married. In early 1982, Vicky and her friend were heading to England for a work study program while Graham was returning home after traveling through the US. They were thrilled to get the last three seats on the plane all in a row and became fast friends. Graham took the Americans on a whirlwind tour of London, and before he had to head before he had to head north to his home, he took a picture with Vicky and their arms around each other. They had an instant connection, and when Graham visited weeks later the States, by the end of the evening, they were holding hands. Vicky said that was March 6th. And then we were engaged
God.
by July 4th and married December 28th. They now live in the US where they raised their two children. And for their 40th anniversary, their neighbors snapped a picture of them, recreating the photo from when they first met in London. It was amazing how we met and how things turned out, Vicky told CNN Travel, adding, and that we're still together. That's amazing too. Come on. That
You know
wasn't
what's
cute?
crazy?
No, no, that wasn't cute.
You know what's crazy? That you're the romantic one when it comes to like Valentine's Day, and I'm the one that's like, no, it's not real.
I just think that like I like love. Love is good. Love is nice.
I like love too. I just don't believe in it as much as other people do.
I feel like I've just always been more romantic than you. Like I've always had like the romantic bone.
I feel like I'm romantic when I want to be.
Okay, okay. Like I've yeah. I think that we have our different love languages.
Yes, that's
I
a
would
fact.
say we
That's a
have different
fact.
love languages.
Yeah, because this to me, I do not care.
What do you mean? This is all by chance? Like they would have never met. It's an
I don't
incredible
believe in
story.
that though. I don't believe in like love at first sight type of things. I don't believe in that. I think that's all fake.
But it's not that so it wasn't just love at first sight. It was more of like a slow burn, but a chance by chance. It's not like he saw her and he thought she was pretty. It was like,
Also,
oh,
this
we
was 40
just
years
ended up.
ago.
All right, all right,
There's
whatever,
not really much you
whatever.
could do
All
on a
right,
plane 40 years
you got
ago.
me. So what? So what? You're right about that. Okay,
Like
that's
now, if I get
true.
on a plane and someone talks to me, it'll be like, "Why the fuck are you talking to me? You see me with my headphones in, and I'm about to go to sleep. Stop talking to me."
You got a point. You got a point. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that was my the love story I wanted to give in.
Okay.
Because I think we're ending on a sad note, so I wanted to go ahead and just throw something in there to brighten our mood. But I guess fuck me, right?
No, 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 no. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
Whatever.
Valentine's Day. So on to the next segment, our brand new segment. Ta-da! Our Am I the J Squared Asshole segment. So, this is a new segment that we're giving off to you guys. We want you guys to email us, DM us, let us know what you think. Are you a J Squared asshole? Have you done something that was questionable and you want to know if you're an asshole? Bring it to us. We'll let you know. And it's for free. So, why not? So, this
It
one comes from
sounds like free on
Anonymous.
Reddit.
Hey, that's true. But you get to hear us talk about it, though. So, it's even better.
Yeah.
I hate you. So, all right, this one comes from Anonymous. Am I a J
Okay.
squared asshole? Told a coworker to shoot me the one on one when I was a manager at Cold Stone. All right, I used to work at Cold Stone, and I get it. I get it. Um, I think that this person, whoever you are, was completely justified in your attempt to shoot the one on one. These people are fucking bold. They are bold. They'll say shit and
Okay.
they do not know that you are a grown ass man or woman. And the thing is that I don't know about this specific Cold Stone, but in my Cold Stone, we closed at 2 a.m. So nobody was gonna save you.
Jesus.
So if this is the same type of situation, I would completely understand. Throw hands. Why not? You're young. And I'm guessing that you were under 18. Ain't nothing bad gonna happen to you. Fuck it. Check them real quick. Sometimes people need to get checked. I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm advocating for violence. What do you think?
You know I'm always for violence. So
I think this is why we get along. This is the only thing we have in common. Just full violence. Fuck
let's go.
it.
Why not? No, but I agree. Like sometimes, even if it's in a non-violent way, but you kind of do have to like check people, um, especially when they're treating you in ways that are disrespectful. Um, so definitely don't I agree with you. If you have to get violent, then you have to get violent, but you could also try to have a conversation. But if the conversation goes nowhere and it's getting to the point where it's like, all right, you're gonna catch these hands, you gotta do what you gotta do. Just
Hands
make sure you
must
got
be
backup.
caught. Hands must be caught. I
That's all
like
I'm
that.
saying.
I like that. All right. So, congratulations. You, my friend, are not a J squared asshole. Ding. Gonna put like a check mark every time. Like,
I'm gonna put some noise in the
oh
background.
yes, please do. That'd be great.
I got you.
All right, so I think we did it. I think we accomplished what we came here to do. So thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Uh, and before we go, we want to go ahead and let you guys know that we are still doing these segments. We want to create more. If you have more ideas, just let us know. But as far as I guess now, send us your emails. We'll put our email somewhere around here so you could see it. So you could just go ahead and DM us or just send us messages so we can read your "Am I the Assholes?" It's really fun. We love to do it. Well, I love to do it. J-Rock just tags along, so it's cool too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
do that and whatever. And by the way,
Whatever.
if I don't get to say it, if we don't come out again throughout this month, we do want to say Happy Black History Month. Um, Throughout the
Yes,
trials and
sir.
tribulations, we've been through a lot. Yes, thank you, thank you. Throughout the trials and tribulations, we've been through a lot in this country, and all over the world, and we still continue to go through a lot. But At the end of the day, we all do an amazing job of uniting, and we don't need a month. Remember, guys, it's not just a month, it's all year, it's all the
Mhm.
time. Black don't crack, and we should definitely not uh s- pretty much keep it to the shortest month in the year. So yeah, celebrate, have fun, and Juneteenth is right around the corner.
Also
Thank you,
support any black uh companies, artists. Show your love not only this month but every month of the year.
hmm
Um Thank you, Jay, for being amazing.
I'll try my best. I'll try my best. Thank you.
But yeah, support, learn. Remember, Black history is American history, no matter what they tell you. So learn from people. Don't just start judging others. Learn about the history and grow as a person. And love each other. See, I could be romantic.
That's perfect. All right, y'all. This has been the JaySquared Podcast. Boom.